Hello, it is me, Moonbee, and welcome to tutorial 2.0 of Live 2D Cubism. I really hope that you all enjoy this one. Now, before we get into any of the tutorial and stuff, you should probably go watch my tutorial that I've already got on my channel, as I'm mainly going to probably be going off stuff that is kind of already been explained in that tutorial. So, for example, in this tutorial, I'm going to be explaining angle X and Y more. I'm going to be doing about eye blinking. I'm going to be doing physics, as in the hair physics, and I'm going to be doing a basic walking animation along with how I do front-facing character to side-facing character. The other tutorial, for example, includes basic things in the animator, including how to add music, including how to set up your model file, and many other important things about the program. Also in the description, there will be loads of links to loads of helpful tutorials that I have used myself, and they will hopefully help you to improve your skills in Live 2D Cubism. But enough with that! We must get on with this video! Let's go! I'm going to show you how I do the eye blinking for my models. So if you look in the corner now, you will see a little example of what I'm going to show you. And it's a very simple process, and it's probably one of the easiest things. So you see, here's my model. Now we've got our model. Now, because I can't actually see the eyes clearly, I'm just gonna get rid of the hairs so I can see the model more clearly. So here is our hair. So let's focus on the left eye first. So the way I split my eyes is that I have the top part of the eye, the side part of the eye, I have the white of the eye, the pupil of the eye, and the bottom of the eye. This is how I usually split my eyes. So we're going to start by taking the top of the eye. We're going to click the button up here, which is Edit Art Mesh. We are going to click it. We are going to go to the Erase button, and we're going to erase all the art mesh that is there. We're then going to go to this pen tool with a plus to redraw our art mesh. So you're gonna trace around the eye like so. After you've drawn around the eye, you are going to go through the middle of the eye with a line. And then we're going to go up to this 4 division up here and click it twice. So now that you have a nice art mesh with loads of triangles, which will make it a really smooth transition. We're then going to go up here to the path tool and click it, and we're going to draw an arch through the middle of the top of our eye, or whatever shape your eye is. Now that we've done that, we're going to click back on this button, and we're going to add, we're going to go to this parameter here, and then we're going to click this button here to add 2 parameters. But with mine, I don't always use 2 parameters. So we're going to click this button here, and we're going to add a keyframe at 0.75. Now, 0.75 is going to be when the eye looks like how it is now. But when it goes all the way to 1, it's actually going to look like it's widened. So we're going to move the top lid up, like as though the eye is widening. So it's a shocked expression. And then at 0, we're going to have the eye closed. So I'm going to move the eye down, and we're going to make a closed eye. When you move it up, it should go back to normal and then widen. Now we're going to move on to the side. Now what I do here is I add a very simple, just 2 dots with the path tool. I add the same parameters we did before with the top by going in editing it to add the 0.25. We're going to Now I'm going to show you in a bit more detail of how to do angle X and Y. So, if we go into our model here, you can see it's at a base. So first of all, we're going to get rid of everything but the main base of the head and the ears, including all the hair, so it's just a bald head, basically. Now, you got the bald head here, it is split like so. So we're going to create a deformer, add 3 parameters to the angle X, and I have got in this model 2 references for the head turning. You might want to maybe move them or resize them so that they fit the head. But I'm going to be doing one side, but you'll just repeat the other side. So, first of all, you've got the deformer, and we're going to use the deformer to move the head kind of into what the head here looks like. You can always go in and alter it after if you do not like it. Now we're going to go do the ears. So let's start by doing the right ear, as that is really nice and simple for this side. So you're just going to add the 3 points, and you're just going to move it without creating a deformer, and just kind of move it with the head, like so. With the left ear, we're going to add the 3 points again. We're going to move it behind the head. Now it still doesn't look right because it's inside the head, but if you see this strip here of the bar with all the numbers, you can move it down from 500 and it will go behind the head. So then you get something like this. And again, if you do not like it, you can always alter it. The back hair of our head and also has the outline of the main hair. So I'm going to create a deformer, and we're going to move it along with the head.
By doing the same technique we did with the head.
Now we're going to move on to the eyes. So we're going to select one eye. For example, we're going to select the whole of the left eye. Select it all by clicking Shift to the number of parts you want. We're going to create one deformer for it, like so. We're going to add the 3 parameters. We're going to get our guide again, and maybe move it down so that it's in line with our eye if it's not. And we're going to move it in the same shape as it is on the head that you see here. We're now going to go do the other eye by selecting all the pieces again, creating a deformer, and using the guide again to know where to put the eye. Now we're going to move on to the mouth. So you want to, again, with the eyes, you're going to select all the parts of your mouth. You're going to create a deformer. You are going to add your 3 parameters again. Now we're going to move on to the front hair. So, you're going to want to select all of your front hair and create a deformer. Okay, so now we've all got that part selected into one deformer. We're going to again move it with the head. Finally, as my model here has got the side parts separate from the main parts of the hair and the back hair, we are going to also create deformers for those and move them along with the head. Now I'm going to do a brief explanatory of how I'm doing the normal front facing with some turning. So we're going to get rid of anything apart from the torso, so any scarves or belts you might have on your model, it might be useful to get rid of those. So we're going to select the torso and we're going to create a deformer for it. We're going to go down to Body X and create a three-way deformer. I'm going to only be going the left side, but you would pretty much just repeat the same for the right side. It would also help if you're with your angle X, if it's kind of like what it look on the gacha. So, or the best you can. So I've got a reference here for the side facing of this character. So we're just gonna kind of move it to where we want it to be so that we can reference to it. We also want to lower it so we can see it a bit more. So we're going to take our deformer of the body, and we're going to do the same technique that we did with when we're moving the head. Now that we've done that side of the body, we're now going to move on to the arms. With the arms, I find it a bit more complicated. So, first of all, I am going to select both of these arms. I'm not going to create a deformer for them, I'm just going to select them both. And I'm going to add two, I'm going to click shift on one and then shift on the other so that both are selected. You're then going to create 3 parameters for them, and then we're going to start. And we're going to move it almost, and also maybe rotate it, so we can angle it to look like it's rotating. Now we're going to do the other arm. Again, we're going to do the same technique and shift click them both. And we're going to add our 3 parameters. But for this, I'm going to turn the guide off so that you can more clearly see what I'm doing with the arm. So we're going to go down to this parameter and we're going to move it. Now, it doesn't look like it's moving. It does a bit, but if we want to make it look like it's turning, we're going to up this little draw order here so that the arm appears above the torso and move it to where we want. Now, when we move it, it looks like as though the body is almost rotating. But it still looks a bit funny because we haven't even added the belt or the scarf if you have it on your model. So let's focus on the scarf. So you're going to create a deformer for the scarf or collar or whatever you have on your model. And we're going to add the 3 parameters again. And we're going to move it with the body. We're also going to do the belt here, freehand. Now it should kind of look like as though the body is rotating. And you might think, the legs don't really seem to look like they're rotating at all. So, what we're going to do, I know this is a really lazy way of doing it, but we're going to select this part of the leg, and we're going to add 3. I'm not the boldest on the legs, but I'm okay on this part. And I'm going to flip it over like this and try and get it the same like this leg, because this is me being lazy. And it is the technique I use. And we're going to rotate it so that it can connect to the other leg. So first of all, before you even go into physics, it would be really helpful if you have already created hair wave parameters for your model. For example, you can do the hair swing for like the sides and the back part of the hair along with the front of the hair. So after you've done that, also in the bottom of the description there will be a link to Gacha Amika's tutorial on hair swaying, which I use an awful lot during my making modeling. we're going to go all the way down to the bottom to open physics scenes blending settings. And we will open it. And you will get your model appearing on the right hand of your screen, and then with all the parameters. And now on this side, you must be like, what? This makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever. But don't worry, it will all make sense after this. So, first of all, you've got your model. If you click near the model will follow the mouse. Now, I'm just going to only be showing how to do the front hair, but you can apply this to all of the hair parts, and it works just the same. So, what we're going to do is we're going to start by clicking add. When we come to add, we will get this little box here, and you can name it whatever you want. So I'm going to name it F hair, standing for front hair. Now, we want to go down to input preset. You would usually get head input, body input, and bust input. Head and input would really normally be here, but it isn't here for me for some reason, but it should be there for you. If not, you can always click body output, and for the physics model preset, you can have hair short, hair long, hair double pinjamin, or hair triple pinjamin. I don't really use the ones at the bottom, but this is basically, depending on how long the hair is how swayy it will be. Now, as we're doing the front hair, usually it would be good to select hair short, but I don't have that for some reason, so I'm just going to be selecting hair long. You want to click OK. Now, when you move the model, the hair is still doesn't move, and you're probably wondering why. So we're going to go, next to input settings, we're going to go to output settings. Now here, this is where you're going to add the hair swaying that you did earlier. You click add, and you're going to get all the parameters. Now, if I did hair through as mine for the front of the hair, I'm going to click that, and then you're going to click OK. Now, it should begin to sway. If you look, it's swaying. Also, if you want to increase the output and you can also click here, and it will increase the output and make it look even more swayy. Here I am going to show you how to do a basic walking animation. So first of all, we're going to want to go into animation mode, like so. And we're going to do our frames, reset it to 60 so it's smoother. Also, if your model's a bit out of frame, you set them so that they're in there. Now, I'm gonna extend this because 60 frames goes pretty fast. Now that we got it set, we're gonna start by doing our first frame. Now, the way I do my walking at first, that was nothing. The way I do my walking is referencing from Gacha Club itself, as it's the best. So as you see here, I've got the first pose here, so we're going to recreate that first pose here in Live 2D Cubism. So as you see, I've got all my legs and arm movements at here, so we're going to start by moving the legs. You might also want to mark the other parts of your model so that when you go to future animate them, they don't end up not working. You may also want to tilt the body, as it seems that they tend to tilt the body a lot when using to animate. Now we're going to move around, I would say, 2, 3, 4 to 0.30, and we're going to go click onto the next frame, because as you see in Live 2 Cubism, it seems that as though the walking animation is meant to be made animated. So we're going to move on to our next frame, which is this. Now, when we play the animation, hopefully it should work. Now, if the animation ever maybe looks a bit slow, you can always select your parameters and move them. Like as here, I'm going to select the parameters and move them here, along with these ones as they're also a bit behind. Also, if you do breathing on your character models, you can also add that for when they step so that their body moves up. And that is how I do a basic walking animation. Well, I hope that you enjoyed this video and I hope that you found it helpful in some way. If you ever have any questions about anything in this tutorial or just live 2D in general, please do feel free to ask in the comments because I will most likely reply. I hope you enjoyed the video and have a nice day.